Hello.
Right. Coming up on this episode of Sound Culture, Brendon and I are going to be talking about Akron family.
Yeah, the cosmic birth and journey of Shinju TNT.
And if that's not a mouthful, I don't know what is. So check it out. All right, we're back for another episode of Sound Culture.
Welcome.
I'm Tim.
I'm Brendon.
And today we're talking about
Akron family, the cosmic birth and journey of Shinju TNT from 2011.
I'm just going to let, every time we have to talk about the album, I'm just going to let you say it, because you know how to say it better than I
can remember it. It's so long. Yeah.
Okay, so this group is a collective. They are all equally partners in the group. There's 3 or 4 founding members.
Yeah, and I think in this album there was 7. And they were missing one of the founding members, Ryan Vanderhoof, I believe.
Yeah.
But they're always kind of changing, and they're adding members and taking members out.
Yes, and there's Seth Olinsky, Miles Seaton, and Dana Jensen?
Yeah, I think it's Dana, yeah.
So those 3 people are all the sort of front runners of the group.
Yeah, so you get this very diverse sound, you get some really great vocals and some really cool instruments that you don't hear in everything. Like you were saying before, it's got a kind of a folk element, and there's all sorts of ways that they encompass different genres, I think.
Yeah, and it's got that sort of weird, eclectic, inclusive feeling that...
Yeah, it's peaceful. It's peaceful and joyous, yeah.
It's often kind of viewed as sort of a what's the word I'm looking for? Like I already said inclusive, but it's a comforting feeling. I think, like you said, peaceful, but it's like it's
almost being around like a campfire or like a music festival or something.
Another
everybody's singing, and I feel like it's got kind of a tribal feel to it. Even their very first song, "Silly Bears," it's really uplifting and it's great. But again, going back to how diverse they can be, they have some songs like "Island," for example, that's really slow and has like these epic gaps in their rhythm. And then they have songs like "Light Emerges" and "So It Goes" that are a lot more like uplifting and upbeat. And they go all over the place.
One thing, and I'm going to say something technical, which is very out of my nature, but they actually use a lot of 3-part harmonies. I was reading, and you listen to it, and you can definitely hear that, and it makes sense because again, it's a collective, and it makes sense for them to use that type of music to demonstrate that there isn't one person running the show. It's kind of a shared experience. Yeah,
absolutely. And one thing that they do that's really cool, also kind of a technical thing, is they have these drastic shifts in their songs, and they have these time signature changes and tempo changes that make it sound like it's like kind of like a new song, but they do a really good job of transitioning from one to the other. And they also do some really rhythmically cool things in not just this album, but a lot of them. They'll use time signatures that are more uncommon, like 5/4, for example. And when you do a really good job of it, you can't tell that it's in something different. It just sounds good. Like Money for Pink Floyd, for example, is famous for being in like 7/4 timing, and people are like, oh, I didn't know it was anything different. But yeah, it's a sign of well thought out composition.
Yep. Another thing that I wanted to mention, because I'm not as familiar with these guys as Brendon is, but their label is called Dead Oceans. So I looked into Dead Oceans, and they have 40 acts signed on it, of which I know 0, except for Bishop Allen, who is featured in the movie Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist. And that's the only reason that I recognize them.
There's a lot of music, and it's probably inspired by or very similar to these guys, too. And
but I think that's a good thing. We were talking about this earlier in the video. Is like sometimes when you listen to mainstream music, you kind of lose sight of the other types of music out there, and these guys are very much of a specific folk type of sound. They play with another band called Angels of Light often, and they've done a split album with them, and they tour with them, I think, regularly.
Yeah, that's what I was hearing. Yeah. So it's worth checking out just because of the diverse range of instruments that they have and the ideas, and it's definitely worth it. And these guys, they're one of the bands that I've never heard an album that I don't really like, because they're all really different, but they all still have kind of like the band's integrity. Yeah. And it's got the same like feel, like that peaceful feel.
And I just remember what I was going to say. It's left field pastoralism. That's what I read. I wrote a quote, and that was what it was described. And I was like, yeah, I can dig that.
I know exactly what that means.
Also, if you like other bands similar to these guys, or you want to hear something similar, definitely check out Animal Collective.
Oh, Animal Collective for sure. Even, I don't know, Broken Social Scene is not quite as like that, but just the collective idea. Broken Social Scene's always kind of changing too. But yeah, Animal Collective too. Check them out. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So that said, I think you should watch this. Brendon obviously thinks you should watch this.
I love it, yeah.
And this has been Sound Culture.
Yeah, don't forget to like and share and subscribe, and thanks for watching.
Yep, we'll talk to you soon.
It's so polarizing, and the secret to the whole thing is you can't be in the middle. You have to be on one side or the other. Either icebergs are melting, or you're a climate denier. If you ask questions, you're a denier. You don't care about the kids.
That's what you found, is that you have to take a stance.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fair. Okay, let's talk about this album about a folk band.